That's all, and that's it with the listening and the reading. For the writing and for the speaking, they are so optional and subjective. How can I sit by you to show you what to speak in the speaking or the writing? Right? Go there. So the point is, for many learners or IELTS test takers, they perform really well with the listening and reading. They gain high scores. But then with the real challenge in speaking and writing, they cannot perform well, and that shows their real ability in English. Is that right? You read a lot, you may answer correctly 40 per 40 in the reading. But if I ask you the real meanings of the three passages in the test, you say, I don't understand anything of them. Or you say, it is overally, or it is overall about something. But for detail, you don't understand. So the point is, we should change the root of the way we are studying. You need a chair. I have one here. Okay. The point is, we should not learn in the way that we are dealing with the facts. We should learn in the way that we love English so much that we spend a lot of time learning every single piece of information, every single pattern in English that we may find useful in our daily life. And then for sure, you sit for the test, you are very natural, you feel confident. I have talked to many students who haven't had any training in IELTS, and they perform really excellently in the test because they feel natural. Some of you who have sat for the IELTS course for years, and you struggle a lot, and you cannot perform as well as they do, because they don't learn in the way we learn. We just learn for the test. We read the passages here, and we try to find the answers, A, B, C, D. That is not the way we learn. Right? You sit for the IELTS writing, and you just learn the phrases we learn in how we perform, how we reproduce those things. Like a parrot mimicking the sentences, the phrases. And that is not yours. And once that is not yours, they recognize it right away. So many of us who have studied for writing, you sit for a course of writing. The teacher will show you lots of pattern samples. And those samples are from books. Right? And you copy those patterns, and when you insert your ideas, they are mismatched. Because the pattern seems perfect, your idea seems stupid. Right? It's just like a very country person puts on lots of jewelry. It's really ridiculous. Right? You may buy diamonds or gold and you put on yourself, but you don't behave like a city dweller. You still behave rurally. So it's the same with our learning, with the writing. We have lots of samples here. We have structures. The teacher may delete some of the detailed ideas. I give you the sample of the whole structure. You copy the whole structure, you insert your ideas in, and then your ideas tell the examiner that I am not this good with the structure. So this is why, and this explains why. No matter how beautiful our structure is, we don't move ahead. So, all in all, no matter what you are studying, so for IELTS, GRE, GMAT, GMAT, you should start by building an internal force. You build it from inside. So remember, IELTS is just a test. TOEFL is also a test. Test of English as a foreign language, in international English language, test in Switzerland, test of English for international communication. Whatever, they are tests. So test is just like the top or the summit of the thing. You need to build your own foundation, your own platform, your own group. And then no matter where you go, you can do it. Right? So think about that. You should change the way or the attitude radically. Right? You change from the very lowest level. It's just like we sit for the driving test. You know how to drive? Yes, ride a motorbike? Yes, sure. And of course, you may proceed to the high level, you learn how to drive a car. And you can see that all schools, they can train you how to drive a car. Is that right? But accidents happen. Why is that? Because you may get the license, it's just like you all pass the 6.5 for the IELTS. Or teachers can show you the tricks, strategies to overcome the 5.5 or the 6.5 threshold. But then, your real ability will show in your real life. Don't think that you just study IELTS to pass the entrance or the out of school exam. No. You think that you are learning English for later use in life. And that's why, for some of us, we don't know why they score us that way. Right? We perform really well. We learn the structures. We put all in the test. They give us a 5, 6. Right? And then we blame them. But the point is, they recognize your weakness. Right? This is an international test. This is not a Vietnamese test. So they have a very strict discipline and ways to evaluate the real ability of the test takers. That's why there are so many kids. They get 8 or 7.5 right away for the IELTS. And for adults like us, we think a lot. We try to deal a lot with the test. We should get 6 or 6.5. So change it. Why? I want to show you this. And this is what you should learn when you do the English course or IELTS course as well. I mean, you should learn from reality. This is a very common IELTS question.
Test bank. Sample 1.
Just imagine we
Part
are in a speaking, and this is a question we may receive.
Hello, my name. Part 2. In Part 2, I will give you a topic, and I'd like you to talk about it for 1 to 2 minutes. Before you talk, you will have 1 minute to think about what you are going to say. You may make some notes if you wish. Do you understand? Describe a natural disaster that has occurred in your country. You should say what it was, when it was, what destruction it caused, and explain how it made you feel.
Is it clear? So this is a very common question in Part 2. And we may say, I remember about the disaster that happened years ago in my hometown, something else. So the point is, we put ourselves in a situation like sometimes we can imagine, sometimes we have to tell a story. But the point is, if you have had no knowledge about this, really hard to perform. So my advice is that this is where you should learn. For example, in our classes, I ask every student to prepare to read the news every day, and you come here and you report the news to domestic and to international. This is an extremely beneficial way to help you boost your real authentic English. So for example, about the natural disaster, Vietnam is a tropical country, so we are hit by storms yearly, right? So how do we learn the word? I think we should learn from here, not from the book. IELTS book, no. It should be from the real source.